Okay. Okay, so yeah, basically I'm writing what I'm going to say. So essentially that I look Raistan Hearts arcs, Maggie's role, Hearts view on family. Louisiana's setting, swamp, marsh, low life, contrast between 9502 and 2012. What else? Let me check if the stream is actually up, by the way. Okay. Let me check if the stream is actually up. No, not this. This. But my thoughts on True Detective Season 1. Well, first, quick mention to this tweet, because it was the reason why I started watching it. And yeah, one good thing is that these phrases, I can smell the psychosphere and yeah, I can don't sleep, I only dream. I think these are said really beginning, right? Really at the beginning of the show. So yeah, it hooks you quite early, you could say. Rust's character. Then, onto my actual thoughts. I wanted to talk a little bit about, well, first of all, obviously spoilers, but I wanted to talk about Rust's and Heart's arcs, right? So I like Rust's outlook on life. Well, not sure if I like it or what, but I relate more to like Rust's outlook on life, right? Rust, because yeah, first I'm going to use like not him, his arc. Hart is like this married man. He has this wife and kids and all of this, right? And he cheats on them. So, and he's also a people, right? A people person. He has kids, right? All of these things, and you can see it in the show, right? That kind of rust when he looks at Marty and he sees what he's doing and all of this, he becomes like really disgusted, right? And he's like really against his values, right? In Rust's case, because he's lost it, right? He's lost a daughter, so you can tell that to him, Marty not paying attention to his family and all of these things hurts him a lot, right? He takes it really to heart, and yeah, it seems to not affect him or whatever, but yeah, it does give it that really got that toughness. And he dislikes, that's his main gripe with Marty's character. Hello, Jatin. I'm just recording a video about True Detective S1. And yeah, Maggie, that's why the Maggie storyline, Maggie's role on the story is good. I liked that part a lot. I liked how she is in the middle of these both of these characters, and how she's kind of what separates both of them in O2 after their win in 95 or whatever. Then I talking again about Rust. I like how it's a show about life's meaning, about these philosophical things, kinda, in the end. Right? That's like the underlying base of what the show is about. Right? The show is about this, about whether life's worth living, about what, like, your role in life. They had unfinished business, for example. Well, Rust left unfinished business, and that was what moved him back to Louisiana. And Marty supposedly he's moved by family, but then in the end, once he has it, he betrays it, right? So it's like it's unclear. It explores how these characters deal with life, you could say, and it's interesting to see. It shows like the goth the goth daughter, and Marty being super, like, you could say, irresponsible or childish by beating up these guys who are essentially doing the same thing as he is doing, right? He's fucking young girls, and the young boys who also like to fuck younger girls, but in this case it's his daughter. Then he gets mad at that, right? It's interesting to see all of these things. Then I was watching earlier the little bits at the end of the show, and at the end of the show there are these explainers, but I was reacting to this on live stream, and my stream got taken down, so I'll try to link it in the description, but in case it doesn't show it at the end of every episode, there is a kind of inside look from the perspective of the creators of the show, and in this they talk explicitly about how the show is about this life's meaning and all of this, right? And another thing they talk about there to show this meaning, the meaning of the meaning of the show and all of this. At the end of the finale, it's when they mention this, the show being about life's meaning, about how Rust's perspective, after all what happened, is to keep going, to keep living, kinda. I forgot what I was going to say. Before the setting, I wanted to say something. Link. Yeah, I'll put the link in the description. Like when I upload this as a video, I'll put the link in the description. Because I have not uploaded yet. It's a stream, but it's got taken down, so I don't think there will be a link. And if I upload the video, it will probably be corrupted. Well, not corrupted, but taken, like, flagged or something. Oh, but the way it's shot, sometime No, the way it reflects their life, the way it reflects real life, and all of this. And how the language used, cop language, DB UC, and street language. Wait, shot. Yeah, basically the thing I wanted to talk about that you can see really well with this when the creators of the show are talking about it, right? It's the way it kind of reflects real life and it drinks from real life a lot. It seems that the show is made by people who drink from real life and who like love this, or like who see it, right, how it is, and who like want to reflect that. And yeah, a small way that I liked to see that was when they used with the language they used, right? They used like this cop language that I found funny, right? I found it interesting. And for example, instead of saying dead bodies, they say DBs. Instead of saying undercover or this kind of stuff, they say UCs, going UC. They talk about like the name of the prisons, right? They use just the name of the prison, right? So they say, 7 years in Albany, or this kind of, or I have a couple of guys in Albany, these kind of names, right? And I always liked that kind of vibe. And then when Rust infiltrates the gang and all of this, he also talks like this kind of gang person or whatever, and he uses this street language, and it's interesting to see. And also, I think that's a surface level thing, but I like the surface level things too. But yeah, what I mentioned about the characters is, I guess, what kind of makes it real, right? How Marty's character is this real person, right? Who has race, he's funny, he's a people pleaser, and he can like go around solving cases, right? And at the latter half of the show, you really see kind of Marty on his element doing this good work, right? Do good work for this case that they have in a cool way, using kind of his strengths, but you also see how these strengths also convert into weaknesses sometimes, right? When he fucks all these young girls while being married, this kind of thing, right? And also, I said that I related more to Rust in a way, right? This kind of, not sure if introverted or whatever, but yeah, this kind of more introspective person and who thinks a lot about these things and kind of goes in this, you could say, obsessive self loops of thinking of this stuff. Well, in this case, he's thinking about other stuff, so he's actually doing stuff, not just thinking about dumb shit, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, he's thinking about this, but he does think about like the meaning of life and all of these things as it relates to the people in the churches, to the subjects of the crimes. Well, both the subjects, like the ones who committed and the ones who are victims. And he can read the narrative that people are creating, right? And he asks, what's the point, right? So he asks also the questions about it. And that also he has his flaws, right? He's not a perfect person. He lives alone a lot of the time, right? And he lives alone despite, you seeing that it kind of takes a toll of him or something. And that part is interesting as well, right? And also the way it's shot. I liked the way it's shot. I think that the way it's shot, there's one example in particular that they use to tell a story. It's like a plano secuencia, they call it. I think it's a one-shot take or a one-take thing, where they are like running away in a neighborhood, and they use that to show kind of Rust's character when he's like in an action sequence, and they show that very well, and they show like what's going on all around them. They show like the environment of these kind of low life elements, and like these houses in the neighborhood, these people carrying weapons and doing drugs and packaging drugs and all of these things. Right? And then along that, I also liked the setting, right? Louisiana's setting. It's the state of Louisiana, and I thought it was interesting. And yeah, it's this swampland. I liked to see Louisiana. One reason is because I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, so there is a part of that game that is set in Louisiana. The state is called Lemoyne, but yeah, it's based on Louisiana, and it shows this kind of swampy, marshy elements, and it's early 20th century, right? So it's like 1900s, early 1800s, and you can see that. Yeah, you can see all of those things, right? You can see the swamps, a lot of different wildlife animals, but the show kind of, well, the game kind of makes it smaller, right? It makes it seem really small. It shortens the distances a lot because it's a game, right? So you have to have fun playing it. But the show kind of paints a more real picture, right? It paints like the vastness of it, the hugeness of all of it, and kind of the rural elements, how really separated and isolated they are. It shows that kind of life, and I thought it did a good job depicting that. I liked it, and it also makes like I wrote here low life, right? So it does a good job showing this kind of low life element of the rural life, right? And I'm in my kind of romanticizing this type of, I guess, poverty type shit, right? Not really, but yeah, in a sense, kind of seeing, the peace of it sometimes, right? How peaceful it is, right? And how tragic the things that happen are to this peaceful way of life. Right? And I thought it was interesting to see that in the show. And yeah, I guess seeing the tragedy and lets you in a way see the bad things, right? So it highlights also the poverty, right? So it highlights kind of, it's like they are poor, and also they get their family member kidnapped, right? Or because they are poor and all of this, and they are like easily influenceable by this rural church or whatever, they get their kids easily taken down, and no one can do anything, right? There is this sense of that, but also there is this sense of like seeing the actual poor houses and all of this, and being like, it's actually like an interesting environment to be in, right? It looks interesting, and it looks like it has like its own character, right? Because of this lore, you could say, or because of the characteristics of the environment, right? Because it's like plantations with one tree, or because it's a swamp, but you can have a boat on the swamp, or because there is a boat, or because the people who fish crabs have this kind of small hovercraft or hoverboards or this kind of thing, right? I don't know. It was interesting. And then the next thing I wrote was the contrast between 95 and 02 and like 2012, right? So how the characters grow is really clear, but also, yeah, I thought it was interesting to see an aspect of that, an aspect of this, like you see the lack of phones compared to today, and you also see how the computers evolved. You see the little details, like mentioning that they need to subscribe to some kind of database for yeah, like license plates, and for another thing, right? So mentioning like subscription payment models is very 2024, but I don't know. I liked seeing how it was realistic in a way where I think maybe now you wouldn't expect that much, right? Finding now that to be believable, that extent of like no one is making TikToks out in the in the rural areas, that would be kind of weird, you could say, right? I think that reality has shifted a little bit, and it was nice to see a perspective into both of those lands, right? It's like it's an interesting depiction of how you could believe 2012 was like that in these rural areas. Meanwhile, for example, I'm not sure if it has stayed that static. I wouldn't say that it. I'm not sure if I would say that, but maybe it has. And I thought it was interesting thinking about that. And yeah, the last thing I wanted to mention, I guess, is this Miyazaki was right video. This was more tied to what I mentioned before of this part about the way it reflects real life. But if you found this video interesting, right, this is what I'm talking about when I say that it was a show made kind of thinking in real life, you could say. It seems that this is a show, not sure if thinking on real life, based in real life, or just because it's based on real life, that it's cool, but it's because of the it's based on people who like pay attention to real life and like who are observant and who like to get the details right and who I guess not sure if love humans or love humanity or something, but they want to transmit as much as possible in that sense, right? They want to transmit the complexities. I think this video talks about how Hayao Miyazaki also talks about this in a way, or also tries to make his movies like that. And I thought there was a connection, right? Even though the themes are different, I thought there was this connection. That was interesting. So yeah, I recommend watching this video, and that's it. Bye. Those were my thoughts on Succession. With Succession, Succession is also a great show, by the way. HBO makes good shit. That was my thought on True Detective season 1. Bye. And yeah, now I wanted to talk about my what I was talking about. Like, at least I'm going to get this topic out, right? So, because I watched this True Detective show, I thought, TV is good actually, right? Like, there is some good shit on TV. And I was thinking, like, even the trash TV is better than what I'm doing right now, right? Which is streaming just random shit that no one cares about, right? Because after all, no one will watch my video on this, right? No one will give a shit about my video, about my stream or whatever, my video that I made because of a tweet, right? Like, this is pure trash. Like, no, it's like the thing I make it is because first I'm used to do it now, and second, it's kind of a keeps me going on because I like to express myself or whatever, but it has like no value, right? It's trash. It's pure trash. Like, at least trash TV has like some narratives. It shows some actual elements of human life or whatever, right? And even though it's fake and it's called reality TV, that which makes it wrong, right? At least it has something going for it, right? Meanwhile, what I do, which is real, I like it because it's real. Like, that's the only thing it has going for it, right? That it is real. These are my real thoughts, right? But that this obsession with reality, right, with telling my thoughts as they are, with expressing myself as I want to, with saying the things that I believe are true, and not hiding things because I do hide things, right? But with this, that the way that I come across reflects the way I am. I think that this obsession that I have with that, I think that is like seeking alignment, right? I want to get a job that people who hire me are aware that I'm retarded online because for some reason I think that's good, right? This obsession, this strange obsession, it's not even an obsession. But it's like a wish. This wish that I have for that is just dumb. Right? It's not sure if it's impossible or if it's misguided or whatever, but that's what I was thinking that this work makes me think. Right? This True Detective thing I don't know why, but the show made me think this. Made me think that my obsession with this reality or whatever, with reality, is misguided. It's not good like True Detective is good, right? It's not good in a HBO show type of way. For example, in the HBO show, let's see if I don't get this fucking taken down. But if you see the credits, right, there are like so many fucking people. See, there are so many fucking people involved. It's like, why am I doing this dumb shit, right? Why am I streaming for myself? For myself, yeah, because no one is always going to watch it. When I could be boom operator Scott Jacobs, right? When I could be doing actually something for something that is actually good, right? That is the thing I don't understand. Right? Why? Why? I don't get. Like it's something that I don't get. Not this. This. And yeah, then I wanted to talk a little bit about the hole in my theory. This is something I thought while working, and it's that I have this theory, right? Which is that I didn't think I could fail, and what that would look like, right? I didn't think that I could fail. I thought that probably I would be rich by now or something. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck did I think, but I must have thought something at some point in my life where I saw that what I was doing was not a failure in some sense, right? The making the videos was good. I must have thought that at some point. I had that theory, right? That whether people watched them or whether people didn't watch them or whatever the fuck, I thought that the thing itself was good. And I had faith. I had faith that it actually would provide me with good stuff. And I think that that theory was good because it made it real, right? So the fact that I got used to making videos and all of that made them real, which is good. Something that I was chasing. I also think that it was so stupid, right? that there was a hole in my theory, which is the fact that I could fail, and that what it would look like was me being alone all the fucking time in my house and with no money to do anything and with no career prospects and with no relationships. And well, I have some relationships, but you get the vibe, right? I don't know. That's the hole in my theory, I guess. And yeah, that's how I'm going to end today's stream. Today there was no one like actually there, so oops.